Hey there, it's Fight here with a case study, and it's based on the one idea I shared in a blog post the other day, which apparently was not very popular, and that is, hey, start from the ground up. Hey, I know none of us like starting from the ground up. The fundamental idea was, hey, if you don't know what your audience wants, don't start creating a product or building a big funnel. Instead, do some stupid, simple affiliate marketing. Just put up a squeeze page. If you can't make that convert, there's no point doing anything else, because if it doesn't convert, you clearly still need to figure out and tune into what makes people say, yes, that's what I want. And what I want to show you today is an example of a lot of time and effort and energy wasted, in quotes, because that wasn't dialed in yet. So what we're seeing here is an ad. It doesn't matter that it's in Germany. It's basically someone who's saying, look, I'm doing something slightly differently. So this guy basically had an idea. He looked at the landscape and he noticed that, at least in Germany, a lot of marketers promote their products through webinars, mostly auto webinars, and people are hating it. The comments underneath these webinars, at least in Germany, Germans are very vocal when it comes to expressing their opinion. It's always, man, it's always the same stuff, and it's just a pitch, etc. So he had this idea of doing a live challenge. So you can see here at the top it says, this text here, email marketing challenge. And the whole thing he's going to do as a live thing, 7 days of Facebook Lives. So he's on camera, and at the end, I'm sure there's going to be something for sale. Now, it turns out all he's doing, in quotes, is he is taking The Machine by Digital Marketer. So Ryan Deiss's product, The Machine, I bought this several years ago, so did he, and he's now breaking it down into 7 parts and delivering that content and saying, look, here it's cool. And what I've done is I've adapted it to German, and now at some point we can buy something. Anyway, the breaking down process happens then over here. Actually, no, before we dive in. So, in terms of effort, he had to create this video. Fair enough, at some point you need to make something that's eye-catching. And then you need to promote this. So 14,000 views, that is something you need to pay for. Even if you get them at a few cents, this still adds up. And he's got a bunch of comments and a bunch of shares and a bunch of likes. So not bad, right? And overall, the tone was relatively positive. Here at least is it seems to be honest and not, hey, everyone's gonna be a huge winner, and so not bad. He's done a good job here. But of course, creating all of this took time. And now, for those 14,000 views he paid for, he got, and his process is to get people from here into his Facebook group, he got a grand total of, as we can see up here, 154 members. Oh, actually, earlier on it was 155, so now it's 154. Someone has already left. I don't know if that is fantastic or disappointing, but whichever way you look at it, he's created a system for getting people in, and he only has an audience of 154 people who are looking at this. So now what should start happening in your brain is that you go, all right, what's the conversion rate he can expect here? If he gets a conversion rate of, let's say, 10%, he sells 15 copies of his course. If it is a $2,000 course, cool. That is definitely worth it. But here's the problem. So 154 members, and shrinking, have said, yes, I'm interested. And then if we scroll down, we see his live videos. I think the first one... No. So this, I'm not sure. This may be the first one. This may be the second one or the first one. So I know this is just a pre-case study. So 17 people have actually seen this. All right, out of 154. So this is the very first one, which he promoted by email. So 26 people have seen the very first one. No offer yet. It's just the first one. That is half an hour. I think it's about half an hour long. They're each half an hour. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, 30 minutes. All right. So all of those things are half an hour long. meaning with 7, 3.5 hours of content to prepare, to practice, to deliver. That is a lot of effort, and all he got. By the way, there are 35 comments because it's live, it's interactive. He's asking the typical webinar things. Hey, how's it going? Are you here? What's your name, etc. So that was seen by 26. Then already on day 2, only seen by 17. Day 3 seen by 8, and was there one more? Yeah, day 4. Out of 7, seen by 5. And now I'm starting to get worried as a product owner and creator. So I started out with putting a lot of real energy into this. And this is sweat and bloods and tears. And this guy clearly wants to, of course, sell something, but also help people. So he's paid for a lot of traffic. He's created all of this. He's come up with a new way of doing it. He created a challenge, and he only, in quotes, managed to get 154 people in there. And 4 days in, only 5 people are paying attention. Now, if I now look at this from the, how much can he sell? 10%. Oh, he's making half a sale. This is not looking good. And we're only on day 4, and he's not made an offer yet. So give it another 3 days. If he's lucky, one person will pay attention. And, whatever the percentage is, if it's not above 50% of people buying, this is a terrible waste of time and energy. What I want to highlight here is that this approach of doing a challenge may well be a good approach of doing it because it stands out, it's different from doing a webinar. However, what he needs to do first, and this is the key thing, this is the message for you today, before you go out and build out anything substantial, even if it is, as seemingly small as preparing for 7 lives with, only half an hour of content. But remember, it's not only half an hour of content, it's also doing all these documents here. He's typed all of that stuff. Every single time you can download one, in this case, 2 documents. All of that stuff needs to be done. And it turns out, in this case, it's in quotes for nothing. It was all wasted energy. And this is the real message I want to send you. Even though the fundamental approach may be right, at the moment he doesn't get the right people at this point to say, hey, I am interested in what you've got, plus I am likely to be the person who will go and actually watch all of these things and move through to the end. And that's why I'm saying you need to do this step by step by step. Only have, step 1, get confirmed to yourself that you are attracting the right kinds of clients. And I have to admit, I haven't watched the videos myself, so I'm not going to speculate on what he could do better, right? And how he specifically could prove it. But the fundamental approach is that you need to start from step 1, which is this ad, and now figure out how am I getting in the right ones. And that may well be by cutting out all of this stuff and going straight to a much more action-oriented thing, namely make a simple sale. That way you figure out, man, I'm hitting such a hot button that people are willing to give me a small amount of money. Not necessarily the big thing he's looking for. So when you see that concept of the tripwire, that may well be a great way of testing it. Like I said, I haven't watched his videos, I don't know what his offer is, so I'm only speculating. But that's one way of doing it. And that way, once he figured out what kind of message in here attracts the right kind of people. I mean, if he's unlucky, he's only attracting those who are really pissed off with auto webinars. And just because they're pissed off, they're clicking on this, right? Only once he figured out that he is truly attracting the right ones. And of course, he can use the Facebook Pixel to figure that out very, very quickly and effectively. Then he builds the next step. And the next step, in his case, may be just instead of doing a whole big live challenge, just do one live video and then get proof that that really gets those prospects even more pre-sold and taking the next step, etc., etc., etc. So there you go. building something from the ground up. It's something no one wants to do. Everyone wants to go and buy the latest shiny thing. And look, it's human. Of course our brains are hardwired that way, including mine. When I see something exciting, oh, you can get 100,000 views in 1 year. It's like, yay! I'm all over it. And then, fortunately, I've been around long enough and I slap myself. And, fortunately, my wife has the credit card and I can't whip it out. But get to accept that there is some wisdom in the teachings of Agora Publishing, a 8-figure, no, was it 9? It's a 9-figure, I think it's a 9-figure business, right? They are making a shed load of money by observing one fundamental truth, and is they build each and every single campaign from the ground up. They start with what they know to be true, working. It's attracting the right kinds of clients. And then they build step 2. And then they build step 3. And then they build step 4. And this guy has built 1 and then 7 steps here, plus of course the whole sales campaign at the end of it. And I can already tell you, if on day 4 only 5 people are paying attention, it ain't gonna be pretty. So there you go. Happy whatever it is today, Wednesday. Speak to you soon. Bye.